it's giving us yields that are better in some of our poor soils.
Anytime you can cut your cost and use less, it's better for you. We live in a day that every penny counts.
Money-wise, I think it's about the same, but the return in your pocket when we get the crops back is the yield's gone up.
Using 30% less, it's being more put where it's needed, and you don't have to spend as much.
We've worked with corn and wheat and potato and beans and several other crops that, and been able to show that we're getting more phosphorus into the plant.
Last year, 2010, we tried a new product. We put some carbon phosphate in, and we have in the past found that the corn turns a purple color, and as it starting out, it just doesn't grow as well. And this year we saw it was still a little purple around the edges, but nothing like what it has been before, and the corn responded quite well. And we were very proud, very happy with what the turnout was. The technology with the carbon, there must be something there that it is working. We visually saw that this year.
The first thing that in applying the crop we're able to use a lot less volume of product. You know, we're handling a lot less volume and still getting the same thing done with it.
The carbon product appears to give us, you visually see better plant growth earlier in the cool season of the year.
Well, this year we had some ground over on the canyon just above Billingsley Creek Reserve. We planted some beans over there. They finally came, and you know that phosphate was available because the carbon had held it there, and definitely got a better yield than we would have without it. You know, it went 30 sacks, which is fabulous for that type of soil. Just from that experience, I would most certainly use carbon again.
When we put a unit of phosphate on the ground with the carbon technology, we are actually expecting to get more yield out of that plant that very year, and it helps our cash flow.
Our program usually is that we apply 25 units between cuttings. On other fields of pivot irrigation, we apply one dry application of a blended fertilizer during the year. I believe I'm seeing benefits because of the availability and mobility of the carbon versus the dry fertilizer application.
Probably our biggest response was on alfalfa on a field that was really low in phosphorus in the soil. We saw huge increases, in about a 50% increase in the yields. And not only that, we saw increases in the quality of the hay as well, increases in relative feed value. And again, that was a season-long benefit that we achieved.
You can apply the fertilizer when you need it. You're getting some foliar benefit out of it, where if you compare it to the dry, we're not getting that.
The thing that I like about it is it's less product you got to apply, and so it's less handling for you. And the other thing I like about it is that the results have been better than just the regular phosphorus that we put on in the past.
In cases where phosphorus is a limiting nutrient, we're seeing increases in yield.
This carbon will move down with the soil. You know, with water and that, it doesn't tie up, and to me that's a huge benefit because we can get the phosphate where the plant needs it in that root zone.
The carbon technology benefits us by helping us to not put so much on. I think you put half as much on as before, and we still get better quality in our beets and more tonnage.
We used it in our sugar beet production, and we used it as a foliar, and we saw some very drastic positive results in the beginning. Beets respond well to foliar, and this foliar was no exception. It did a great job, and it greened our beets up, and they looked healthier. In this spring, we had a hard spring. The spring of 2010 was cold, and so our beets were given a little lift, we thought, from this foliar application. That's why we did it. We don't normally do that, and we thought with the Carbond application and the reduced amounts, it would be a good expense for our program, and we did that, and we were pleased with the results.
We really like the fact that we're putting the phosphate down in a band, concentrating it so that the crop can utilize it and use it where it's needed, not out in the middle of the row where it doesn't benefit the crop until later on when the taproots get out to that growing area. We've been using it on our sugar beet crop for 2 years now. We used it in 2009 and saw some pretty fair results, we thought, from it, so we expanded it on our operation and used it on about 65% of our beets in 2010. But we've compared it to conventional programs with the 1152, and we feel like we've gotten some pretty good results from using the Carbond technology. We've had significant yield differences where we split it in half with pivots of conventional programs. Another thing we tried this year that I think was real exciting is we used the Ignite product, and we did some trial strips at different gallonages with Lambview, and we definitely saw some emergence benefits. We had quite a bit higher percentage of beet emergence with the Ignite, and we felt like it was an adequate enough number that we definitely recouped our investment in it. We feel that this Carbond technology is a profitable product for us to use. We'll continue to use it. We've been able to cut application costs of custom operators to come and put our product on where we can do it in one pass with our planters. So we feel we've saved some money there in efficiencies, and we've gained inefficiencies of fertilizer and able to put less dry fertilizer on and raise a better crop.
I'm really excited about this Carbond technology. It's costing us a little bit more per unit, but we're using probably at least 30% less fertilizer and getting what I believe is a better yield.